All right, let's unpack this stack of articles about football, but not the usual goals and scores stuff.
Right.
We're going deep on a different side of the game.
Yeah.
The drama,
Okay.
controversies, the moments that make you wonder, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We got stories from Vietnam, England, Turkey, Indonesia,
Wow.
even a little Korea and China sprinkled in.
Sounds interesting.
Buckle up because things get wild.
It's fascinating how these stories, even when they're about missteps and mayhem, actually reveal a human side to the game. The passions, the pressures, the consequences of split-second decisions. It's a good reminder that even at the highest levels of the sport, everyone's human.
Let's kick things off in Vietnam, where a V-League 2 match ended not with a final whistle, but a full-on brawl.
Oh, wow.
Two players, Nguyen Xuan Nam and Vu Van Son, took their on-field rivalry a bit too far, clashing in the stadium tunnel after the match.
Really?
And guess what? We've got security camera footage of the whole thing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking to see, actually. You see the initial shove, then the retaliation, and suddenly it's a chaotic scrum.
Oh, man.
It really highlights how quickly things can escalate, especially when emotions are running high, even after the game is officially over.
I bet.
It gets even more intriguing when you compare the players' versions of what went down. Nam claims he pushed Son's chest because Son was hurling insults and curses at him. But Son's story is that he reacted to being called a little brat and challenged to a fight outside the stadium.
Classic case of conflicting narrative.
Yeah.
But there's an added layer here because both players have impressive backgrounds.
Right.
And national team experience.
Yeah.
For instance, Nam was the top scorer at the U19 AFF Cup back in 2011
Yeah.
and has even been called up to the national team while Son captained the Vietnam U20 team.
Wow.
It really makes you wonder what actually transpired in that tunnel and how much the pressure of their careers might have played a role.
It makes me think, do these pressures, contribute to a culture where this type of behavior is seen as acceptable?
It's a valid question, and it's something we see play out in other professional sports as well.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of intensity and expectation that comes with being a professional athlete, and sometimes those emotions boil over.
Speaking of off-field drama, sometimes the repercussions can be just as severe even without any physical confrontation.
Absolutely. Take the recent case involving Rodrigo Bentancur and Son Heung-min, both playing for Tottenham Hotspur in the English Premier League. Bentancur made a racist remark about Son during a Uruguayan talk show, which quickly sparked FA charges. That's the Football Association, English football's governing body.
Right.
And put him at risk of a significant ban. Bentancur ended up issuing apologies, both privately to Son and publicly on social media.
And Son publicly accepted Bentancur's apology, saying he believed it was a genuine mistake and that Bentancur was truly remorseful. It definitely adds another layer of complexity to an already sensitive situation.
For sure. It raises some important questions about the role of apologies in addressing racist behavior.
Yeah.
Is a public apology enough to repair the harm caused? Should there be a distinction between intentional and unintentional racism when it comes to consequences?
And this isn't an isolated incident. Back in 2019, there was a similar situation with Bernardo Silva and Benjamin Mendy, teammates at Manchester City, where a racially insensitive comment resulted in disciplinary action.
Right.
It makes you wonder about the prevalence of these types of attitudes within the sport and whether enough is being done to foster a more inclusive and respectful environment.
It definitely underscores the need for ongoing education and awareness-raising initiatives within football, from the youth level all the way up to the professional ranks.
Now, shifting gears from players to referees, let's focus on the often underappreciated role of the referee. You might recall David Coote, the English referee who found himself in hot water over some rather unprofessional remarks about Liverpool and their former manager, Jurgen Klopp.
Ah, yes. The infamous leaked video that sent shockwaves through the football world.
Exactly. In the video, Coote is heard making derogatory comments about Liverpool's performance and using offensive language to describe Klopp.
It was certainly a jarring contrast to the image of impartiality and professionalism that referees are expected to uphold.
And to make matters worse, Coote was caught up in a drug scandal during Euro 2024. Picture this: a hotel room, a rolled-up banknote, and a white powder, all captured on video that Coote allegedly filmed himself.
Wow. The fact that he supposedly filmed himself adds a whole other layer to the situation.
Yeah.
UEFA, the governing body of European football, suspended him immediately, and now his entire career as a referee is in jeopardy. It really makes you wonder about the judgment and decision-making of someone in a position of authority within the sport.
It's definitely a case where actions speak louder than words, and unfortunately for Coote, his actions have had serious consequences.
It raises the question of whether there needs to be more robust vetting and oversight of referees, especially at the highest levels of the game.
And sometimes disrespect for referees goes beyond words. Let's head over to Turkey, where we have a story that's shocking, even by football standards.
I believe you're referring to the incident with Faruk Koka, the former president of Turkish club Ankaragücü.
Right.
This wasn't just a heated exchange of words. It was a violent assault.
After a 1-1 draw with Rijspor, Koka, along with several other men, physically attacked referee Umut Meller, punching him in the face and leaving him with a fractured eye socket.
Oh my God.
Meller had to be hospitalized, and Koka and his accomplices received prison sentences. Koka was also given a lifetime ban from the Turkish Football Federation. The severity of the attack even drew condemnation from Turkish President Erdogan and FIFA President Infantino.
The level of violence in this case is deeply disturbing. It goes far beyond the typical disagreements and frustrations that can arise during a football match. It's a stark reminder that emotions can sometimes lead to dangerous and unacceptable behavior.
This incident also occurred amidst a wave of other controversies in Turkish football, including riots, teams withdrawing from competitions, and accusations of corruption from high-profile figures like Jose Mourinho. It paints a rather concerning picture of the state of the sport in Turkey.
It's hard to say whether these incidents are isolated or indicative of a deeper cultural issue within Turkish football.
Yeah.
There's definitely a need for a thorough examination of the factors contributing to this pattern of behavior.
Yeah. It raises some serious questions about the overall climate of the sport in Turkey. Okay, let's shift gears to a lighter topic, the often surreal experiences of professional football players.
Okay.
We've got Indonesian goalkeeper Martin Pas, who's about to face Japan in a World Cup qualifier. And to put this into perspective, Japan is a staggering 115 places higher than Indonesia in the FIFA rankings.
Talk about a David versus Goliath matchup.
Right, you'd think the pressure would be immense, but Perry seems remarkably unfazed.
Really?
And why is that? Because he's already faced Lionel Messi, not just once, but twice.
Now that's a story to tell at the pub.
He played against Messi in the MLS, first in a wild 4-4 draw that ended with Inter Miami winning on penalties, and then again in a friendly where Panese's team, FC Dallas, actually pulled off a 1-0 victory.
So he's literally gone head-to-head with one of the greatest players in history.
Yeah.
That's got to give you a certain level of confidence.
Exactly. Panese even said, "I'm not afraid of Japan. I've already faced Messi." And his confidence is contagious. He genuinely believes that Indonesia can compete with anyone.
Wow.
Of course, Japan ended up winning the match 4-0, but you have to admire Panese's unwavering belief in himself and his team.
It's a great example of how facing seemingly insurmountable challenges can actually forge a sense of resilience and fearlessness. Sometimes the experience itself is more valuable than the outcome.
It's a good reminder that mental fortitude can be just as important as physical ability, especially in a high-pressure sport like football. Now let's contrast Pettis' on-field composure with the off-field drama swirling around Kieran Trippier, Newcastle's English right-back. It seems his marriage is unraveling in a very public and messy way.
From messy to marital woes, that's quite the transition.
Yeah. Trippier was reportedly spotted partying with a mystery blonde while his wife was away on vacation. There were witnesses, photos, a whole 9 yards. Now the rumor mill is churning with reports of a separation. The couple's wedding rings have vanished from sight, and even their $4.91 million home has been put up for sale.
It sounds like a classic case of the temptations and pitfalls that can come with fame and fortune. A witness at the bar even described Trippier as looking relaxed, enjoying the attention. It makes you wonder how much these off-field distractions can seep into a player's performance on the pitch.
Yeah. It's a reminder that professional athletes are under constant scrutiny both on and off the field, and their personal lives are often subject to intense public speculation.
It raises the question of where we draw the line between public interest and invasion of privacy. At what point does the media's fascination with the personal lives of athletes become excessive and potentially harmful?
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. Let's end our deep dive on a more positive note. We've got Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United's captain, stepping up as a real-life hero.
A bit of good news is always welcome.
Picture this. Fernandes and his teammate Diogo Dalot are on a flight to Lisbon when a passenger suddenly faints. Fernandes immediately springs into action, calling for help and assisting the passenger.
It's heartening to see athletes using their platform and influence to make a positive impact beyond the world of sports.
And it wasn't a publicity stunt. A fellow passenger even commented that Fernandez wasn't looking for any attention, just genuinely helping. It speaks volumes about his character.
It's a reminder that amidst the drama and controversy, there are still individuals within the sport who exemplify compassion and integrity.
And speaking of exemplifying the best, let's circle back to Sun Heung-min. After battling some hamstring issues, he made a triumphant return to the South Korean national team, scoring his 50th international goal.
That's a remarkable achievement, a testament to his talent and dedication.
He expressed immense gratitude to his club, Tottenham Hotspur, for their support during his recovery, and he insists that he's 100% fit. But his coach is understandably cautious, wanting to protect Sun from further injury.
It highlights the delicate balance between a player's desire to compete at the highest level and the need for responsible management to ensure long-term health and sustainability.
Yeah. It's a constant negotiation between pushing limits and prioritizing well-being, something that athletes in all sports grapple with. So what have we learned from this deep dive into the underbelly of the beautiful game?
It's been a journey through the highs and lows, the triumphs and tribulations, the moments that make us question and the moments that inspire.
We've seen the raw emotions, the intense pressures, the consequences of poor judgment, but also the resilience, the compassion, and the unwavering spirit that make football such a captivating spectacle.
It's a reminder that football, like life itself, is full of contradictions and complexities. It's a sport that can bring out the best and worst in people, and it's constantly evolving both on and off the pitch.
And that's what keeps us coming back for more, right? It's a never-ending source of drama, excitement, and intrigue.
Absolutely. We've explored everything from violent outbursts to acts of kindness, from scandals that rock the foundations of the sport to inspiring stories of resilience and determination. It's a microcosm of society, reflecting our shared humanity with all its flaws and aspirations.
We've talked about the players, the referees, the off-field controversies, but there's one crucial element we haven't touched on yet: the fans.
Yes, the lifeblood of the sport.
Yeah.
Their passion and unwavering support are what fuel the energy and atmosphere of every match.
Exactly. But it also makes you wonder about the role fans play in shaping the culture of football. Do they contribute to the pressures and expectations that sometimes lead to these extreme behaviors we've been discussing?
It's a valid question. The intensity of fan loyalty can be both a blessing and a curse. It can create an electrifying atmosphere, but it can also lead to a sense of entitlement and a blurring of boundaries.
And with the rise of social media, fans have more access than ever before to players and their personal lives. That level of scrutiny can be overwhelming and can definitely contribute to the pressures athletes face.
It's a double-edged sword. Social media can be a powerful tool for connection and engagement, but it can also amplify negativity and create a breeding ground for toxicity.
It's a challenge for both players and fans to navigate this new landscape responsibly and respectfully. It's a reminder that even though football is a game, it has real-world consequences. Actions have repercussions, words carry weight, and the choices we make both on and off the field shape the culture of the sport we love.
Well said. It's a conversation that needs to continue, a collective effort to foster a more inclusive, respectful, and ultimately enjoyable experience for everyone involved in the beautiful game.
I think that's a perfect note to wrap up this deep dive. Food for thought as always, and until next time, may your favorite team win, may your rivals stumble, and may the beautiful game continue to captivate us with its endless drama and unpredictable twists and turns.